Minutes to the river. How far is too far, and what other things should you consider? Let's talk about it. Hi everybody, if we've never met, my name is David Meyers. I'm a real estate agent with eXp Realty here in Cape Coral, Florida. I specialize in waterfront property in Cape Coral, and I have done since 2003. Now, minutes to the river is one of the metrics that you always see. Well, you don't always see it, but you should always see it when you're looking in the description in the MLS. Usually they'll be quoted a time, minutes to the river. One of the things you have to be careful of is some of these minutes to the river times are just a wild guess. So you want to make sure that you verify the actual minutes to the river time. And I talked about this in another video. You could actually calculate the no wake speed of your particular vessel, or the vessel that you anticipate buying. And then you can calculate the distance and do a little bit of math and figure out exactly how far any property is from the river. And if you need help with it, just let me know. But one of the things that I wanted you to consider when you're looking at minutes to the river is where exactly on the river you come out of that canal system and where it is that you're going. If you're primarily going to downtown Fort Myers and you have a property up by the Midpoint Bridge in, say, Unit 19, 5 minutes to the river, you get out to the river in 5 minutes, and then you head up the river to downtown Fort Myers, you're really, really close. But from that same property that's 5 minutes to the river, if your normal boating trip is to Fort Myers Beach, it's going to take you a heck of a lot longer, because you have to come all the way down the river. There's a slow zone in front of the yacht club. Then you can go west, and then there's a slow zone at the Shell Island Cut, and it could take you well over an hour to get there. So I just wanted to give you a couple of things to think about. In addition to just minutes to the river, you have to also consider where it is that you normally go when you're boating. If you're a sports fisherman and you like to catch redfish around Chino Island, and you're in the south part of Cape Coral, like the Yacht Club area, or Unit 3, 64 and 67, you have a short ride to the river. You also have a short ride to the fishing grounds. So when you look at this minutes to the river, just think about where it is that you'll be boating so that it actually makes sense to you what your overall trip time will be. Because if you think about it this way, there are properties in Cape Coral. There are over 400 miles of canals in Cape Coral. And some of the properties that are on the southwest way up the Spreader Canal, it can take you an hour just to get to the river. And if it takes you an hour just to get to the river, and you're going to go for an hour boat ride, you have to budget 3 hours for that 1 hour boat ride because of the hour it takes you to get out, the hour it takes you to do what you're going to do, and the hour that it takes you to go through the canal system. Another thing that I want you to consider is whether or not your boat has a head, otherwise known as a toilet. If you have a 1 hour ride through the canal on the way home, there are going to be times when people are going to have to use the facilities. And if you don't have any on your boat, some of the options might not be ideal, especially potentially for some of the ladies on board. So that's another thing to consider. Another thing is weather. If you're coming back because the sky is black or because it's pouring rain and you have a 45-minute boat ride through the canal, once you get to the canal system, it's going to be a lot more miserable than if you're closer. Now, I understand that with minutes to the river times that are very, very low, the prices get very, very high. And obviously, everybody doesn't have an unlimited budget. You don't absolutely need to be on Dolphin Coral or Bayshore, or somewhere so close to the river that you can get out in 5 minutes. I just want you to think about these things before you make a purchase decision. There's nothing worse than actually making a decision to buy something and then finding out later that it doesn't suit your needs, it isn't what you expected, and you don't want to have any regrets or feel like you made a mistake. So I just wanted you to think about the concept of minutes to the river is nice, but if once you get to the river, your trek to wherever it is that you're boating is so darn far that you're never going to go there, then it kind of defeats the purpose. So keep those things in mind when you're shopping for waterfront property. If you want to calculate exact minutes to the river from any property in Cape Coral, I could definitely help you with that. And when you first start to look, you might need a little bit of guidance, right? Now, once you get a feel for it, after, some of my clients have been looking for a year, and it's a process to like figure out everything that you need to know before you make a purchase of waterfront property. By the time they get to the point where they're going to actually buy something, they're really tuned in as to what's what, and you'll be there too. It just takes a little bit of time, and you have to know like what questions to ask. Some things in life are super obvious, but not until somebody actually mentions it or brings it up, right? So if you have any questions about minutes to the river, if you have any questions about waterfront property in Cape Coral or real estate in general, I'm happy to answer any of your questions. My cell phone number, to which you can call or text, is 239-529-0555. My email address is waterfrontluxury@gmail.com. Now, if you're watching this on Facebook, you can like my page so that when new videos come out, you can be notified and see them. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, then subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon so that when new videos come out, you're alerted right away. Like I said, there are no stupid questions. Everybody starts out, with about the same idea of what's going on here. Waterfront property in Cape Coral is a complicated subject, and even if you're 2 years from making a purchase, or you're just trying to consider whether or not you'd live here at all, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to answer your questions. If there's anything that I can do for you, then just please let me know. And until then, I'll see you out on the waterfront.